go. Good fish. Good fish. Oh, yeah, oh, he's barely hooked. Get out of the trees. Get in here. All right. Well, boys and girls, there's number one for this really windy Saturday afternoon. There we go. Pretty good little fish. He's kind of in the same setup as the fish I caught last week. A lot of wind, but it is in a different area because of the way the wind direction is this week. The wind is directly out of the east, which does not let me set up on the same places I fished last week at all. And so I'm having to, I know my fish may still be in those areas, but if you can't position your boat properly, then you're kind of wasting your time on some of these points if you can't fish them in the right manner, in the right way. And there's been very few, so far this morning, there's been very few of the places that I actually fished last week that, or on Memorial Day, which was my last day out here to fish, there's very few places that I can actually set up on and that my anchor will even hold today. The wind is pretty strong on the main part of the lake, and even my little 10-pound anchor doesn't want to hold. That was actually my first bite. I've had some brim. It felt like brim rattled a worm a couple of times today, but I just almost have to believe that was not a bass. That those didn't bite like a bass, not like this one just did. He took it and ran with it, and I don't believe. And it is, let's see what time it is. It's almost 2 o'clock. I've been here a couple of hours. I honestly believe that was my first bite. And it set up, just happens it sets up in an area where the wind's coming around a little point. You got some brush out on this little point. And these other places that I wanted to fish that are similar, I can't really set up on. The wind just blows me right off of them. And the only thing I know to do to combat that is a heavier anchor, which I don't have today. And you really don't like, it's not a lot of fun messing with a heavy anchor with a kayak. We don't use 10 pounds is usually enough for any situation that I get into, except when I'm wanting to fish main lake points when the wind's blowing. Usually I just want to have a weight down there to hold me where I don't drift away, but having to actually hold the boat because the wind's so strong, 10 pounds just doesn't usually cut it. Like today, the wind's coming across this little point, and it had the right brush, the right depth, and there was a fish. So I've got one more that I think ahead of me that sets up kind of like this if I don't get a bite here in just a few minutes, and then I'm gonna have to really look to find another setup that I like. Anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out. Let's see if we can't bring another one up here in the boat. Alright guys, gotta hold me another. Give me my hook. That's for sure gonna be a little spot. Man, he hammered a 8-inch black and blue Texas rig plastic worm, a cream 8-inch black blue tail. Man, these fish are so freaking strong, it's unreal. Let's get him back in. Oh, he jumped out of the water. Get him in, I'll show you exactly the worm. I'm in a bush probably full of snakes. There it is. Pretty worm. Usually that's a worm I fish at night, but I just had to give it a shot during the day. It was brand new and I just wanted to try one, and man, it got smashed. The first fish was on a green pumpkin crawl, just Texas rigged. So both my fish have been Texas rigged on the bottom. That's how I caught it, all except for one last week was Texas rigged on the bottom. My other one last week was on spinnerbait, so man, we'll try again. I had 2 bites on this actual bank, and first one got off, and the second one I had the presence of mind enough to set the hook. So there's another bite right after that fish. I didn't get him. He was a hit and run. See if he comes back and gets it. Yeah. No, man, he did hit it again though. Oh, these fish are strong. He's all in my net. Put me in the bushes. Man, he ain't even hooked that good. It's just at a funny angle. I know what it is. He pulled my net. Now the hook will come out. Alright guys, I found me some fish this afternoon. Once again, the later in the day, it's better on me. I don't understand that. But there he is. What a pretty bass. Get him back in the water. Let him go do his business. He has got me in a tree. Same black and blue tell. Seems to be working. Now I'm gonna check my line. That's 2 fish. Nope, no scuffs. I'm in good shape for that. But what I'm done is I found a good shady bank. The wind's blowing me in this way and it's kind of swirling. It's been my enemy most of the day, and now I've found like a little eddy in the wind that's kind of keeping me in position in this shade. It's slowly drifting me down this bank, which is okay. And there has been fish on this bank in this particular shade, and very few bites anywhere else. The bite back on the other point across the lake that the wind was just right and I could set up on it worked, but all the rest of the banks, not much going on today. Maybe this shade, this little deeper bank in this shade, so maybe that's what I needed to find. Maybe the bass have moved a little bit from last week. Happens all the time. You'll find them one week and you go back and they'll not be anywhere around. But this is a long stretch. Not a point, but it's middle of the day. Actually, it's not middle of the day. It's like 3 o'clock and I've got into the shade. I didn't realize it had got that late. But that's pretty cool. Been in the sun all day, waiting on a bite. And boom, there's some bites at one stretch. All of a sudden you start picking up bites. There's a bite. And a fish. Oh, he's not as big as the last one, but he'll do. He'll do. Got him. Oh, me. Oh, my line's tangled up. Well, he's not as big as the last one, but same black and blue worm now for the last couple fish. Let me get my hook out. And we will get this little feller back on his way. Back through the weeds he went. Well, the afternoon has really been my savior today as well as the past few weeks. Don't know why that is. Most people want to go and fish in the mornings, and I admit mornings are usually pretty good. It's cooler. It's cooler on the fish. It's cooler on the fishermen, and usually get more bites. But for me, the last couple weeks has really been all about the afternoon bite when it's hot. And right now it has made its way on to almost 3:30. And the brim are eating bugs just all over this whole area. There's just activity everywhere. I did throw a crankbait, a bluegill looking crankbait, big square bill, wide wobble. They haven't even looked at it, I don't think. But now this black and blue worm is getting me some bites, so I'm gonna keep chunking it down this bank. I'm getting back into a little sunshine, and that may be the line where the bites stop, but the activity continues on down. I can look down this bank and see see little brim or something really getting after some little tiny bugs on the water, maybe a hatch of some sort, and they're taking advantage of it. But I know there's bass in the area. Anytime you've got the feeding frenzy of one species going on, the other species are not far away, especially when bluegill are feeding, bass are feeding on bluegill. And hopefully we'll pick up one more down this bank or two. They're still flopping behind me back here. Oh my goodness. All right, boys. Still hitting the black and the blue. There he is, heated up. There he is, guys. Another black and blue scoundrel bite, and gonna get him back in the water. There he goes. Easy, baby, easy. Alrighty. Getting on into supper time hour. Time to throw the spinnerbait just a little bit. Pick us up a small bass. But hey, that's the first spinnerbait bite of the day. I have thrown it around a lot of grass in between fishing the worm, and around a lot of bait fish activity. You get nothing all day, but on in the evening, it's like their activity's ramping up a little bit. You can just kind of feel it out on the water when things start happening. You see different activity going on along the bank, out in the open. All day, brim have been hitting little bugs on the water, just everywhere, and that sort of slowed down. But you're seeing a little more other action going on. It's like bass are beginning to wake up. That's pretty cool. But that wasn't a monster, so we'll keep looking, see what we can find. I might have just hit him in the head on the way by, who knows. Come on up here, big boy. Man, these fish are strong. Oh, he's coming up. Maybe we get to see what we got. Goodness gracious. Ha ha. Saved the biggest one of the day for last. That's how to do it. Give me my hook. Black and blue once again. How about that? Whew, that's about, I don't know, pretty good fish right there to end the day on. Let me get her on back. See you, girl. Man, what a fun day. What a fun day. And I'm going to show you one more time the Texas rig. This is an 8-inch black blue tail. It's called a Scoundrel. It's made by Cream, and it has been the go-to bait for me today. Spinner baits picked up 1, maybe 2, but everything else, I did catch 1 on a crawl, I think, early this morning. That was a while back, because that was that was before lunch, and it's now almost 6:15. They've been scattered throughout the day, but there's been bites pretty consistent all day. Not quite as much as last week, but still a pretty consistent bite all day. You needed to stay in the wind really to get bites. The wind was from the east, which made it a little harder for me to set up today. Where I normally like to fish some of the points, the wind was not cooperating, so I spent a lot of time looking, riding around. I ran 1 battery down in the back from my trolling motor, and I'm working on my 2nd one now. So I did a lot of running around. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I can't wait to get back on computer and see what I got. I don't know how much turned out ever until I get it on computer and look at it. But appreciate you guys watching and the comments, and I've met a lot of people over the past few weeks. It's been a lot of fun, and channel's growing. I appreciate everybody that helps me with that, and the support. So you guys, I will call it a day. You guys stay safe out on the water, and I'm heading home and find some supper like usual. You guys have a good evening. Biggest of the day, boys. I got my camera wet. Maybe you can see him. And I broke my rod on him. Man, it's a fine fish. He broke it as soon as I set the hook. Back he goes. Check this out. I mean, broke. But got the fish. I think it's time to go to the house. That's bad.